feel very grateful to be part of the KW family.
We are resilient, and we are stronger when family helps family. Support us so we can support others. Show you care at kwcares.org.
So this is a great thing that as part of KW we have. And I have known families that have been directly affected by different things that have received money from KW Cares. And you don't realize, I always think it's somebody else, and then it hits home in one of your market centers or to somebody you know, and it really is an awesome thing that we have. So supporting KW Cares is something we always want to do. Red Day kind of is around that. That's part of that giving back. And so just remember that as we are moving forward to participate in donating to KW Cares. All right.
Can I add something to that?
Sure.
Yeah, so when we apply for a grant for KW Cares, the market center at a local level has to contribute 20% of the asking grant amount, which is why we have that local fund, that KW Vision Park Fund. So we're trying to build that up so that we can react quickly. So just so you know, if you want to donate, I would just encourage you to donate to the local fund so that we can make it happen faster.
So one of the programs we have in the other market centers I'm available with is every agent can opt in for a donation automatically from their commission. It could be $5, it could be $20, it could be $100, whatever it is. You're able to do that. And if you want to donate to the local level, that's what that can help with. We have in Whittier, we've had several families that have been devastated by deaths that were unexpected, and they had nothing planned for funerals. And through our KW Whittier Cares, we've been able to help them with those expenses because we had the funds that were in there. We do it as a nonprofit. So are you set up as a nonprofit with KW Vision? No. We should probably do that. We'll talk about that. But that way you actually get to write that donation off each time you make the donation. So it's a good tax benefit.
Oops.
Okay. Not sure what this is.
Looks like buy flowers and proceeds go to KW Cares.
All right. So scan that to learn more. Sorry, I am not aware of this. And yeah, if you buy Crayola flowers, then they get to benefit. That was not good. Okay, fast track. These are program launches, the dates that they started. These are different virtual learning modules that you can go through. So if any of these are of interest, again, you can scan. It'll take you to fast track, and then you can register for any of these classes. Well, K-score. Does everybody know what K-score is? Who doesn't know what K-score is? Okay. K-score is the real estate school that is through KW, which is free. And anybody that you refer into K-score can go through the program, get their license, and then does everybody know what profit share is? Okay. So if the market center is profitable, and when the market center is profitable, we share back 48% of the profits to you. What that means is the people that you put in your downline, so the people that you get into school, the people you refer into the office, when they help make the office profitable, you get to share in the profits that they generate, and there's a percentage. And so anybody that you think would find value in being part of KW, make sure that you refer them to Q. He will have a conversation. They name you as a sponsor, and that person is now in your downline, and you get to profit share from the business that they generate. So it's a great way to build passive income. If you want to know more about that, come see me, give me a call, text me, and we'll have a conversation as to how we can help you build that downline so you have passive income. Preston, that you saw in the KW Cares, him and his family, his mom and dad, Linda and Jim McKissick, they earn over $1 million a year in profit share because they have brought so many people into this company. Preston is at like $800,000 a year because he believes in the company, and again, you could be referring to somebody that's in Mexico or in Guam or in Italy or Spain. It's a different share when you're international, but anybody in the United States. If you know somebody that lives in New Mexico and they're like, man, I was thinking about getting my license, or I was thinking about moving to KW, they can go in your downline and you now profit share off of that company. So it's a international, it's nationwide, a great way to earn passive income. Everybody knows what this is, right? It means make sure that you know what you're doing before you are doing calls. If this person is on the do not call list and they tell you not to call them again, you better not call them again, because I'm telling you the fines are heavy. And those fines go to you as the agent, not us as the company. So you want to please make sure that any lists that you buy, any lists that you're doing, that they've been scrubbed for the TCPA liability, okay? Next. All right. This is the best part of the meeting coming up. What do you know? Who wants to be better at negotiating? Nobody? Okay. Oh, sure. Thank you. I'm glad you said so. All right, so I have just a couple of points that I want to go through today and share with you. Everybody has one of these on their desk, so you can take it away with you. But this was something that has, in talking with agents, comes up a lot. In their conversation, I'm like, there was this theme of things that they say and do that can create havoc in making sure that they are working towards closing the deal. So these are the don'ts that you don't want to do in negotiating, and that's what I just want to bring this awareness to you guys. So the first one is don't react. And what I put down here is good, bad, or indifferent, and offer no matter how low is not the time to chastise the other agent or their clients, nor give hypothetical overhyped reaction from the seller who hasn't even seen it yet. You never know what's in the seller's heads. The worst thing any agent can do is create an expectation of how the offer will be received and what the response might be. How many of you have received an offer and your immediate reaction is, oh, there's no way my seller's taking that? I mean, we've all done it, right? The thing that you need to do is keep it to yourself, because your job is to negotiate to make sure that it's a win-win for both sides. And so we've got to be careful how we react to what we're receiving or what people are telling and sharing with us. So the next one is don't make assumptions and posture. I know that sounds kind of weird, but avoid making statements such as, there's no way the seller will even entertain that. You need to come back with something much stronger. I cannot bring that to the seller. I spelled that wrong. Have you ever heard that from an agent? Yeah. Right? So our job, what is our job? Legally and ethically, what are we supposed to do?
Present a lot.
Present.
Right. Doesn't matter what it is, right? And how do you know that last night the seller didn't change their mind about what they're willing to do? You don't, until you have a conversation with them. So if you are hearing that from somebody, we need to have a better conversation with them to make sure that they're presenting our offer. Number 3, don't act as the decision maker. Nothing is worse than when one agent tries to get the other agent to agree about what their buyers or sellers will do before they even relay the information to that said person, right? They want to dictate everything else in the transaction before anything is agreed to. And this type of agent loves to be the bullying type, trying to intimidate and use strong arm tactics to bend things our or their way. Our job is to bridge the gap. It's that simple. It's not to be the intimidator, it's not to be the bully, it's not to be the decision maker, because you aren't. The seller and the buyer are the decision makers. So allow them to make the decisions. Your job is to present the information and then give them either resources or educate them, consult them on ways that they can get this put together. Don't be offensive or arrogant. Okay, that's kind of a no-brainer, right? We don't want to piss everybody off, excuse my French. But how many of you have also heard where you get an offer on your listing, you already know the listing needs a roof, you already know that, you know, it might need some plumbing, and the agent says, well, we wrote this offer because the roof is crappy, you know, the paint is peeling, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, right? So we came in at a lowball offer. Does that kind of like put you in the defensive a little bit? If you're being truthful? Yes. Because you're like, yeah, I already know that. Just present the offer, make it a solid offer based on what you feel the value is. So we need to be careful how we're doing that. The other one is don't shut it down. What I mean by that is up front, you should be setting an expectation with your buyer and your seller. How many of you do consultations before you take the listing or before you start showing property with your buyers? Okay. When you have those consultations, what does that conversation look like? Or what should it look like? Let's take a buyer, for instance. What are some of the things that you would want to share with the buyer before they even are writing an offer? Anybody?
I'm not an agent, but I obviously, but I would say, if you're having that consultation ahead of time, you would say, hey, let's go through the house, let's keep our emotions to ourselves, make some notes, jot down some information, we'll have a conversation about it afterwards, and we'll kind of figure out what a good offer would be if you wanted to put an offer. Now, that's just my 2 cents.
Right. Do you think it's important to have a conversation about what a lowball offer is and what it means? Do you think it's a good idea to talk to them about, repairs and different things that potentially could be done with the house or could be asked for? I mean, those are all the things that I would be having conversations. You want to set the expectation of what's going to happen as you go into the offer process. So when you're negotiating, the buyer's already aware of what could happen. So if we go in as a lowball offer, Mr. Buyer, the seller is either not going to counter, which we hope they do, or they're going to counter, and they may counter at the same price because we've offended them by the price that you're going in at. We have some buyers that just want to go in and slash everything and see what they can get. So our job, again, is we need to make sure we're educating them on what that could potentially do as part of our negotiation, how it's hurting your position as an agent to get the best deal for them. Don't be a messenger. That's pretty simple. Buyers and sellers, they really want to be led to make a good decision. So what I mean by don't be a messenger is don't just tell them the information and then do nothing. Educate them. Again, we're talking about consulting. We're talking about, giving them information so that they can be led to a good decision that benefits both of them. Don't forget problem solving and creativity. So I wrote down, many transactions never come to fruition because the agents refuse to put their heads together to figure out how to bridge the gap between the buyer and seller's wants and needs. There are multiple ways to accomplish this about an agreeable purchase price relative to the closing date, closing costs, interest rate buy downs, and things that could be included or excluded with the home purchase, such as home warranty, professional cleaning, etc. Keeping the emotion and posturing out of it with the buyer and seller will help position the negotiation objectively toward a set of mutually agreeable terms and conditions. When we get to the point that it becomes all about the commission, the problem solving goes out the window. Because all we want is to just make the deal, and you forget about, sometimes you have to get a little creative. How many of you have been in the business, let's say, since 2003? Couple, not very many. Okay, so never mind then. I won't even tell you about that. So, back in the day, we went through a really tough time when the whole financial district basically fell apart, right? We had to be very creative. We had to, there was short sales that were coming like right and left. It was amazing. There was REOs. There was all kinds of stuff that you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, but it happened. And so as an agent, we had to not only educate, but we had to get creative with how we presented things. We had to be able to know who the resources were that we could go to make sure that they helped us close the deal. Like short sales were a big nightmare. So it's things like that that you've got to make sure that you are aware of and that you can handle and have those conversations. Don't serve as an armchair expert. What I mean is, you are not the listing agent, and this is more towards the listing agent. You're not the listing agent, so you don't know everything about the house, so don't pretend like you do. And that's what I mean by don't be the armchair, because all it does is it puts up walls, and it causes a very defensive attitude. We're here to work together. Remember, win-win, no deal. Don't be vague. When you're vague about explaining things, what happens to people? Yeah, they think you're being shady, or you're keeping secrets, and then they start to think, oh, what's going on? What's really wrong? Why aren't they telling me? So communication, we want to make sure. Don't try to squeeze every last drop, and what I mean by that is once you get everything worked out, don't go back and then start insisting some additional things. When you work out a deal, stick to your part of the deal. You know, have integrity about that. And then the last one that I wanted to share with you guys was don't make just one more change. And what I mean by that is, and this goes back to consulting with the seller, what I see many, many times, and maybe you guys don't have this experience, but I deal with almost 800 agents. And I will tell you, one of the biggest things that happens at the end of an escrow is the seller goes, oh, I didn't realize we were closing on that day. I can't move. I need another week. I need 2 more weeks, because I can't do that. So that's what I mean by, you know, don't try to get more out of it. That consultation with that seller, when you're presenting the offer, they better have their calendar and look at the calendar and say, okay, this is when potentially you're going to be moving, give or take, 3 days, 4 days on either side. But that's our job. Our job is to make sure that everybody understands what's happening in the transaction. So then when we close and they walk away, they're like, man, that was amazing. That was the best agent I've ever worked with. That's what I want for you guys. So this is just a little sheet. I would love for you guys to read it. If you have any other questions about it, please, share with me. I have 2 more things. We have our sponsor that will be here in 1 second, but I do have one question. What is something as a market center we can do to bring you more value? And don't everybody talk at once. And this is really an agent question. So there's like 12 of you guys here, 10 of you guys here. Some of you are brand new, so you're like, I have no clue because I don't even know what I'm getting right now, right? But for you, and let's say some of you are top producers, what would bring more value? What would help you in your business? What would you like to see more of? You want panels to come in to talk about how they're getting business. What are they doing? What are their resources? What are some of those things? And if you don't know right at this moment, what I would please ask you is, does everybody have a pen? You're going to write this down. Okay? If you're not writing down, I'm going to come over and hover on you. Okay. jbrownkw@kw.com. jbrownkw@kw.com. That is my email. My phone number, 562-577-9958. I really, really beg of you to please think about this question and send me a text, shoot me an email, share with me what is important to you for your growth and what would help you in your business that as a market center we can support you in. We want to make big changes this year. 2024 is going to be a great year once we get through this first quarter. How do we help you get more? Because it is tough right now. And that's like my #1 focus as the OP is how do we help you with growth and how do we help you with profitability. So please share whatever thoughts you have on that. And I think we have a sponsor, right? I don't have the clicker, so, oh, here's the clicker. Okay, let's see. Which way does this go? All right, pillar to post. Joseph Lang, bring him on.
Alright, so we got lunch here, we got pickup sticks, there's some chicken dishes and some shrimp dishes, so and some other stuff, dumplings and whatever on the side. So oh, where's let me that little video where you
Oh, here, I can help you.
you got it? Okay, yeah, it's on the drive.
It's on, like, on
Yeah, it's a
minimize.
Kingston. It's a. She might have brought it. It's a Kingston drive where it's in there.
Sorry, Joseph. I don't know.
Do you have it queued up? The thing?
Sorry, no, I'm good.
Oh yeah. No. So a quick plug for, oh here we go. So I am Joseph Lang. We are the Lang Team of Pillar to Post because we are a franchise, so please remember our location. 20 years of business this year. This is my 20th year.
Oops, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're welcome. We were the first ones to introduce a computerized home inspector before back in the day. Believe it or not, it was on carbon paper before that. And we're still just delivering thorough reports, protect you, protect your client for confident home ownership. We were the first ones to introduce infrared cameras into with technology into our home inspection packages as well. If you've never seen infrared in use before, you can kind of see stuff. The infrared will pick it up. We use a moisture meter to verify it with these rains. Yes. Every one of our home inspections comes with a 360 tour of the house. So every single one of them. So the client can fall in love with their house. This is an actual one. Actually, we just did like a week ago. And it's just great for them to share with family, for them to go back and visit and just fall in love with it. They can share what's also awesome with contractors. If they were wanting to do something in particular, so you can share those. It's a fantastic option that we're doing. Once again, we keep being the forefront in technology when it comes to home inspections. 20 years, I haven't been doing the same thing. We're constantly changing and improving ourselves. Some of our inspection packages come with a recall check on appliances, but also it gives you parts that you can buy. It gives the owner's manuals it picks up, so it's more than the typical recall check that some of the other companies are providing. It is a fantastic guide for the buyers as well. And then they can also add stuff to it. So washer and dryer may not be there, refrigerator, so they can add those items to the recall check as well. Some of our packages come with a floor plan with the measurements of every room of the house. And they get two floor plans. One is going to have the overall dimensions of the room, and then the other one is going to tell you just about how long every wall is. Once again, ordering flooring, trying to figure out, will my couch fit on this wall? It just, once again, we are into confident home ownership and making people fall in love with their house. We're also doing video sewer inspections in-house now. This is one I just did on Saturday. It was a 1984 house. Nothing in the front yard, but there used to be something in the front yard. Because as I was going in, and this is a smaller house. I don't know the resolution on this if you can see it. The pipe was broken right here. A tree must have been there before and had literally busted the pipe right here. So the video and sewer inspection was great. We have 3,500 five-star reviews. And we're just 20 years, like I said, we're not doing the same thing. We are constantly changing, improving. Home buyers are becoming more savvy. more tech savvy, they want more, and so we're providing more as clients are coming that way too. So I love your guys' office. You are always fun and respectful, and you guys just have a fun atmosphere. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoy lunch. If you have any questions, I'll be here to talk to you guys, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
All right, guys, that's a wrap. You're gonna go eat now. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. If you didn't get your sweetie something, there's all kinds of candy around there you'll take home. And enjoy the rest of your day.
You got all the questions, right? And any questions at all? Yesterday we got